This past weekend I was looking for something to watch when I came across this Outer Range thing on Amazon Prime. What the fuck is this? Josh Brolin, he wears a hat, he has a family and a ranch, and then Imogen Poots comes in and there's a hole in the ground, and what is this? What is this? Why haven't I heard about this? Wait, what? Play. So, in The Outer Range, we follow Josh Brolin and his family in their ranch, which has been in his wife's family for 3 generations as they struggle to protect their land and make a living while fighting progress and trying to maintain it as a traditional family ranch. And if this sounds familiar to something you might have seen recently, it is because if you shift a few details, this is almost the exact same setting as Yellowstone, minus Kevin Costner looking at the ground every goddamn 5 seconds.
Steven. Yes, I miss.
I don't know where he goes. And half of it.
Is married.
Situation I couldn't have. I offered her a room, her clothes.
Anyway, one day, a mysterious stranger shows up and says she's looking for somewhere where she could camp. She also seems to know a lot about these people she has never seen. On the same day, Royal finds a mysterious pit on his property. We learn that their daughter-in-law, Rebecca, has been missing for 9 months, leaving their son Perry, a broken man, to care alone for their daughter Amy. We also learn that their other son, Red, is an irresponsible, struggling rodeo cowboy. Lily Taylor, as Cecilia, is the devout Christian mother who holds everything together. There is a land dispute, and one of the dudes from the neighboring farm says shit he shouldn't have said to a drunken Perry. They fight and Perry ends up beating the guy to death. Royal then takes upon him to dispose of the body while Trevor's siblings look for their brother in a very nice, really well shot, tension-filled sequence. Royal then makes use of the seemingly bottomless pit, and then Crazy Eyes Autumn shows up and pushes Royal into the hole. On episode 2, Royal wakes up hurt, bleeding, seemingly back at his farm, and as the Tillersons pressure the sheriff for Trevor, Royal tries to cope and deal with everything from grabby neighbors to murderous blonde hippie campers, explaining in the process how the Tillersons are heartless bastards who value business more than family, and learning that it is the unknown that motivates Wayne, that keeps him hungry. Then Amy meets Autumn, who's obsessed with a symbol that very closely resembles the Abbott family brand, and tells her that Royal is back. Royal then goes to confront Autumn but finds her camp empty. The family then moves the cattle from the west pasture, and Royal and Autumn have this really tense and at first glance kind of nonsensical exchange in the barn. She then asks him what happened in the pit, and what he reveals looks like something directly out of Lost or The X-Files. These are just the 2 first episodes out of 8, but I must say I really like them. Keep in mind though that everything I'm going to say going forward is based on very early impressions of the show. Also, this is not supposed to be one of those explained videos. These are just the first impressions and opinions of a regular spectator just like you. So, having just seen the first 2 seasons of Yellowstone, it is very hard not to draw any comparisons between the two, even if the focus of the 2 shows is completely different. And when the premises are so much alike, besides bottomless pits, it becomes almost impossible not to do it. The big difference here is that right out of the gate, none of these characters appear to be completely one-dimensional like almost everyone in Yellowstone. Actually, let me correct that. They are not completely one-dimensional. They are exactly 2-dimensional, and those 2 dimensions are the shallowest form of character complexity possible. Every one of these main characters are fleshed out enough for us to understand a little bit of each of them, fill the blanks on the rest, and be invested in their struggles. The dialogue is fine and the character's development is done as it should be, through a well-balanced combination of exposition and reactions. None of this is on any of the dialogues directly, but Cecilia seems to hold the weight of the world on her shoulders while still being able to remain level-headed. Royal is scared by the unknown and is scrambling under the pressure of everything that has been happening in these 2 episodes and prior to them with the family business. Perry is doing what he can and what he cannot to be a father to Amy and keep hope alive for Rebecca. Red seems really divided about what he wants for his life going forward, and Autumn is just such a mystery at this point. She behaves kinda like a hippie, but she seems to have money, then she looks crazy, and other times she seems to know exactly what she's doing. She definitely knows more than she lets on, and I think pinning Imogen Poots against a burly older man like Josh Brolin in these intense verbal confrontations creates a real interesting dynamic. Both actors are great and hold nothing back. Actually, the whole cast is great up until this point. The mystery of the story really drew me in. I'm not a big fan of stories with time travel because to me they seem to always go to the same places and do the same stuff they always do over and over again. But I'm a big fan of Lost and The X-Files, and there were moments in this that reminded me a lot of those shows. especially Lost. The themes, the mythology, the kind of time travel, the fact that you have scientists and cultists studying the same phenomenon, the list goes on. The themes of time, the myth of Chronos, and what is known and what is unknown are present throughout the 2 episodes. Royal Abbott wants to keep what has been familiar or known to him his entire life. Their land has been the same and has been owned by Cecilia's family for more than 100 years, and he hopes to keep it that way for the next generations. He's afraid of what he doesn't know or can't see, almost to a panic. On the polar opposite is Wayne Tillerson, one of his nemesis. The man is motivated, as he says so himself, by what he can't see, by what he doesn't know. What is known to him bores him. Autumn, his other nemesis at this point of the story, is the unknown itself. The woman is just a big mystery from beginning to end, and to add insult to injury, she seems to know what he doesn't, what is unknown to him. And he knows that. Cecilia's traditional strong motherly character mixed with her faith seems to put her halfway among all of these characters. An island of balance, if you will. The hole on the ground seems to be little more than the literal manifestation of the tech Chronos made in the cosmos. It separates our world, or what we know, from the unknown. Not sure how this could equate to heaven, as Royal says in the intro monologue and Autumn repeats later though. The camera work and lighting are outstanding, especially on the 2nd episode with these slow pans that help create these little moments of suspense, and these fast ones
Is there something?
Sorry I'm late.
that pivot scenes to really unexpected places. I think these 2 first episodes were a really solid start to what looks like a great TV series. I can't really think of anything that particularly bothered me. I really can't. I just hope that they don't fall into the pitfalls of time traveling by becoming too convoluted or bending over backwards to do the beaten to death you can't change what is going to happen, if anything you end up causing it cliche. Or boggle the storytelling with too many plot lines that will never be resolved and just come up with new ones to keep the story going like some other TV shows set in a family ranch. And now, some stuff I noticed in the first 2 episodes that might be just my crazy ass seeing stuff that is not there. First one, are Autumn and Amy the same person? The show cuts between them twice and the actresses kinda look alike. Autumn doesn't remember anything before she was 9, so she wouldn't remember what is happening now to Amy. Second, we might not be following the same Royal we started out with. In the first minutes of the first episode, he goes out, and when he comes back, he missed a few hours. At first I thought of Aiden Abduction, but when the show didn't point to that direction at all, and Cecilia on this scene said he died 2 years ago, I thought maybe this is when the original Royal died, and this one came out of the pit or something. I don't know. I don't know what to make out of this yet. And number 3, I don't know what to make out of this either, but on the beginning of the first episode, the Chronos monologue is said by Royal. Then at the ending of the first episode, it is said by Autumn. The exact same words. Then there is the yellow hood Autumn wears in the future. Royal wears a yellowish outfit. Cecilia tells Amy about how she came to know her grandfather. She says that one day he just walked into the family ranch when they were kids. Royal doesn't remember anything before the age of 9. You know who else one day just walked into the Abbott ranch and didn't remember anything before the age of 9 too? But as I said, I have no idea what to make out of this yet. These are just some weird stuff I picked up from the first 2 episodes. What about you? What did you see?